Penny was the kind of girl who was very good at being invisible. She was 9 years old. She had curly red hair that never quite did what she asked. And she had been at Maplewood School for 3 months without making a single friend. Not because she was unkind, not because she was strange, simply because every time Penny wanted to say something to someone, her voice would get very small and her feet would carry her in the other direction before the words could come out. Her teacher, Mrs. Bloom, had written on her report card, "Penny is a bright and thoughtful student who would benefit from participating more in class." Penny had read this 7 times. She understood what it meant. She just did not know how to fix it. On a Saturday in October, Penny was walking home from the library. The library, by the way, is a building full of books that anyone can borrow and take home to read for free, which Penny thought was one of the best ideas anyone had ever had. When she passed a small dusty shop she had never noticed before, the sign above the door said odds and ends and everything in between. The window was full of old lamps, painted boxes, a telescope, 3 umbrellas, and one single shoe sitting on a velvet cushion as if it were something very important. Penny stopped. She pressed her nose to the glass. The shoe was old, dark brown leather, slightly scuffed, with a small gold buckle on the side. It was just one shoe, not a pair, just one, alone on a cushion. She went inside. The shop smelled of dust and cinnamon and something she could not name. The old shopkeeper was asleep in a chair behind the counter with a newspaper over his face. Penny walked very quietly to the velvet cushion and picked up the shoe, and the shoe said, "Oh, finally! Do you have any idea how long I have been sitting in this window? It has been 432 days. I counted every single one." Penny dropped the shoe. The shoe said, "Ow." Penny picked it up again very carefully, heart hammering, and whispered, "Psst," she said, "You can talk?" The shoe said, "Of course I can talk. I am a very remarkable shoe, and also I have had 432 days of nothing to do but think about talking. So if anything, I talk rather a lot. You should probably know that up front. It is only fair." Penny looked at the sleeping shopkeeper. She looked at the shoe. She put the shoe in her library bag, left the exact right amount of coins on the counter because she was that kind of girl, and walked home very quickly. The shoe's name, it turned out, was Buckle. Buckle had opinions about everything. He had opinions about the color of Penny's bedroom walls. Too beige, he felt. Life was too short for beige. He had opinions about her breakfast. "Do you know what porridge is?" he said one morning. "It is oats cooked in warm milk or water until they become soft and thick and warm, and it is one of the most sensible breakfasts in the world, and you are not eating nearly enough of it." He had opinions about her backpack, her pencil case, and the particular way she walked with her shoulders hunched as if she were trying to take up less space than she already did. That last one, he said, needed to stop immediately. On Monday morning, Penny put Buckle in her school bag and walked to Maplewood School. Buckle narrated the entire journey in a low, dramatic whisper from inside the bag. He said things like, "We are approaching the school gates. This is a critical moment. Try to look like someone who knows where they are going, shoulders back, head up. You are not a question mark. You are an exclamation point." Penny tried. Her shoulders went back about halfway. It was a start. The first challenge came in the classroom. Mrs. Bloom asked a question about rivers. Specifically, she asked what a river is and how it moves. Penny knew the answer. She had read about rivers in 4 different library books. A river, she knew, is a large natural stream of water that flows from high ground toward the sea or a lake, always moving, always finding the lowest path forward. Her hand stayed in her lap. From inside her bag, which was hanging on her chair, Buckle made a sound. It was a very small sound, a sort of but Penny heard it. She thought about the lowest path forward. She thought about water that keeps moving. She raised her hand. Mrs. Bloom's face went warm with surprise. She said, "Yes, Penny?" Penny said, in a voice slightly bigger than a whisper, that a river is a large natural stream of water. It flows from high ground down toward the sea or a lake. It always keeps moving, and it always finds its way through, even when there are rocks in the path. The classroom was quiet for a moment. Then Mrs. Bloom said that was exactly right. And a girl in the second row, a small girl with 2 brown braids and round glasses, turned around and smiled at Penny. Just a small smile, but it was there. From inside the bag, Buckle made a sound that Penny could only describe as triumphant. The second challenge was harder. Her name was Zoe. She was the loudest person in year 4, and she had a particular talent for noticing things about people that they were hoping no one would notice. On Tuesday at lunch, Penny was sitting alone at the end of the long table. She had a cheese sandwich, an apple, which is a round, crunchy fruit that grows on trees and comes in red or green and is wonderfully sweet, and a small packet of crackers. When Zoe appeared and said, loudly enough for the whole table to hear, that it was a little bit sad, wasn't it, sitting alone every single day like that? Penny felt her face go hot. Her voice went away entirely. From inside her bag, Buckle spoke. He could not help himself. He said, in a voice that was small enough that only Penny could hear, that she should tell Zoe that sitting quietly was a choice, not a punishment, and that some people needed to talk loudly to feel noticed, and other people were simply comfortable in the quiet, and neither one was sad, and perhaps Zoe might think about which one she was before she decided which one was worse. Penny took a breath. She looked at Zoe. She said, not loudly but clearly, she said that she chose to sit by herself, actually, because she was thinking, and that thinking was something she was quite good at, and that she hoped Zoe's lunch was nice. The whole table went quiet. Zoe blinked. Then she picked up her tray and walked away without another word. The girl with the brown braids and round glasses, whose name turned out to be Wren, came and sat down next to Penny. She put her own cheese sandwich on the table and said, with great approval, that had been very well handled. Penny said thank you. She meant it. By Wednesday, Wren and Penny were walking home the same way. Wren talked enough for both of them, which Penny privately thought was a wonderful arrangement. Wren told her that her favorite book was about a girl who could talk to foxes, that she thought the school's Wednesday soup was suspicious, and that she had been wanting to talk to Penny for 3 weeks but had not known how to start. Penny said that was funny because she had been wanting to talk to Wren too. Wren said, well, they were talking now. That evening, Penny took a Buckle out of her bag and sat cross-legged on her bed. She said to him very carefully that she had been thinking about something. She said that talking shoes were not ordinary things. She said that she had been wondering since the very first day why exactly he could talk, what his secret was. Buckle was quiet for a moment. This was unusual enough that Penny paid very close attention. He said slowly that he had belonged to a girl once, a long time ago, a girl who was very shy, who never talked to anyone, who kept all her words inside for so long that she became quite lonely. And somehow, he was not entirely sure how these things worked. He had never been entirely clear on the mechanics. Somehow, her words had gone into him. All those unsaid words, all those conversations she had never started, all that bravery she had kept folded up inside her. And when that girl finally grew up and did not need a magical shoe anymore, she had left him in a shop for the next person who needed him. Penny sat with this for a moment. She asked if the shoe knew who the girl was. Buckle said yes. He said the girl had grown up to become a teacher, a very good one who noticed quiet children and wrote things on their report cards like, "Penny is a bright and thoughtful student who would benefit from participating more." Penny went very still. She said, "Mrs. Bloom?" Buckle said nothing, but the gold buckle on his side caught the light in a way that felt like a smile. Penny looked at the shoe in her hands for a long time. Then she laughed. A real laugh, the full kind, the kind she hadn't heard from herself in a very long time. She said in her new voice, the one that was getting bigger every day, that she thought she understood now, that the words were always there. Buckle had not given her words. He had just given her the first push to let them out. Buckle said, well, obviously, he was a shoe, not a magician. He had always known the words were hers. The next morning, Penny walked into school with her shoulders back the whole way. Wren met her at the gate. They walked in together, talking about foxes and books and the suspicious Wednesday soup. Penny was still the girl with curly red hair that never quite did what she asked. But she was not invisible anymore. And tucked in the front pocket of her bag, Buckle rode along, his gold buckle bright, his opinion on everything fully intact, ready as always for whatever came next.